Welcome to Apocalypse Live. Today's top story: the Chinese weather balloon spotted Charlotte, North Carolina. It was in Montana and across Canada and probably across Alaska. So why didn't the United States Department of Defense blow the balloon down? Why was it allowed to be a topic of the news today? Well, let's get to that in just a minute. There's some other things we want to talk about as we discuss Apocalypse Alive. This just in, Peter, we have a report that the U.S. has shot down the Chinese spy balloon off the East Coast. That was reported by CNN, 3:27 Eastern Time, on Saturday, February 4th, which would be today. So that was just moments ago. The U.S. military has shot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon after it drifted off the East Coast near the Carolinas, a U.S. official told CNN. And the balloon was first spotted over continental U.S. several days ago, according to the Pentagon, but officials deemed it too dangerous to shoot it down over land. U.S. officials say the balloon was being used for surveillance, rejecting China's claim that it was a civilian research aircraft. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken postponed the trip to China in response to the sightings. Meanwhile, another Chinese spy balloon has been spotted over Latin America. The Pentagon has confirmed. Okay, we weren't going to do the balloon that much. We thought it might linger for a few days and be a topic of interest, but they shot it down.
You'll be living your good life. Catch a glimpse of the outside, then you see me now, see me now, see now. Don't need any timeline to prove that this is my life. I can see it now, see it now, see now.
We're taking now to Peter Grayson. Peter, you've been studying this weather balloon for quite some time. How is the president, how has he been kept up to date about what's going on? How much does he know? Well, the President Biden has been constantly briefed throughout the day. There was another briefing scheduled for when Biden arrived in Wilmington Friday evening. The military option. President Biden asked for the start to have been maintained and updated as the situation has evolved and as it hovers over the U.S., including calls with national security team officials, according to the senior administration official. He asked to be updated as the situation evolved, and the official said, noting that no options had been taken off the table. Okay, well, the weather balloon was shot down. Now let's take a look at maybe what might have been some other reasons for the balloon. Now, the Chinese said it was a weather balloon that went off course. The Pentagon disagreed with that, but who's to say it wasn't something more, something very innocent? Like, for example, 91% of the ruling Chinese elite in the CCP have already basically been made American citizens, meaning they can transfer their money outside of China, which is not an easy thing to do, and they've already set themselves up to become citizens of the United States. So maybe they're just looking for good real estate deals, and so that would be a perfectly legitimate reason for the balloon. Who's to keep the Chinese from getting a good deal? But then you'd have to consider that the Chinese already own tons of acres of land in America. Somehow that's still legal. So maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the Chinese to have a balloon over the East Coast. And so maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the Chinese to have a balloon over the East Coast. And so maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the Chinese to have a balloon over the East Coast. And so maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the Chinese to have a balloon over the East Coast. And so maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the Chinese to have a balloon over the East Coast. And so maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the Chinese to have a balloon over the East Coast. And so maybe it wasn't an effort to find another good deal in real estate. But I'm sure there was a good reason for the C flying over most of the United States. Just happen to be flying over places where we have sensitive Defense Department installations, where we have silos for our nuclear bases, and many other things. But I'm sure the Chinese know all about that by now. Then they can use satellites for that. Why they need a balloon? We tend to agree. We believe there's much better reasons for the Chinese to have a balloon flying over America. So, what do you think? What do you think the Chinese would have a weather balloon flying over North America? Are the Chinese that concerned about our weather? Comments about what you believe the Chinese would send in this balloon. To find out the best Jack-in-the-Box locations, whatever the reasons might be, we'd like to know what you think. Why do the Chinese do this? Well, we had a little fun with it. The Chinese weather balloon that was shot down Saturday will probably be talked about for some time. It'll probably be all over the internet. But in the end, it probably won't mean really that much. The purpose of our show, Apocalypse Alive, is to demonstrate to you that every moment, every day, there's something that should be paid attention to that you probably don't. It very well might be the one thing that could avoid the apocalypse today.